Awesome, and we're live. Codependency and diabetes. Today I want to cover this because I've been facing myself this in the past, and also a lot of people I am working with are facing this issue. Now, codependency is actually the same as people pleasing. And what I believe is that people pleasers often suppress their emotions, their feelings, their needs, their wants. And throughout all of these years, it will be stored up in your body. And there is even a chance, because of this stored, you could almost say traumatic effect in the body, the diseases get created. That's why stress is so bad. Now, a people pleaser is somebody, or somebody who's codependent is somebody who puts other people's needs first and will sacrifice his or her own. So, today I want to give you 5 tips how you can start solving this. Now, these are 5 tips who can be very powerful, but there is a chance that there are some underlying issues. And if you feel this is the case, I'm offering 3 more free strategy sessions this week where I'm covering this with diabetics. So if you have interest, you can just leave it in the comments down below. All right, so let's jump in. Now, the first one is that you put yourself first. You can see this as if you would do yoga. Now, let's say you've been all these years a people pleaser. And because of that, like the same as I'm sitting now here on my desk, your shoulders slowly will arch forward. You become like a Quasimodo, you could say. And through the years, you eventually, like your back is not straight anymore. Now, by putting yourself first, you slowly start to arch back again. But it takes time. It's not like in one hit that you directly straight. So you need to understand, when you start to put yourself first, slowly, bit by bit, eventually you want to go back into balance. And you don't want to go too far where you're going to become narcissistic. That's not what we're aiming for. Okay? Now, there's also a lot of people who are, this is the second one, dealing with guilt. If you're a codependent or you are a people pleaser, probably you know what I mean by this. It's just like that feeling like whenever you stood up for yourself, how did you feel afterwards? What was happening in your body? There is a chance that you feel guilty about this. And most probably this is coming from some core beliefs in your childhood. It got created maybe that you needed to shut up when you once stood up for yourself. So the second tip what I want to give you is that you start to understand your feelings. Understand that us as adults, we have a lot of feelings. And as children, we only have a few. But a sense of guilt is often created, thank you for joining, Mary, often created from our inner, from our child, from our core beliefs. If there's any questions, by the way, don't hesitate to ask, reach out. I'm seeing the comments that Mary just tagged Carla in here, so that's great. The third one, the third tip for stop being a people pleaser is accept that other people are also suffering. Yes, and you cannot help everybody. Now, what do I mean with this? We are very, very driven. Hey, Mary, awesome to have you. We are very driven to make sure that other people are not suffering. You know, there's a lot of people pleasers out there who are trying constantly to help others, to be, you know, their coach or their guru, while they are actually really hardcore suffering. And by understanding that everybody has their own journey, every person is suffering. The Buddhists also talk about this, right? You are a human. It's just what it is being a human. And by understanding that somebody can only carve their own journey through suffering. You could say the hero's journey. There's hurdles on the way where you constantly need to fight through. And at the end of the mountain, when you beat that last dragon, there's where the princess is waiting. And this is what you need to understand when you are a people pleaser. Yes, of course you can give advice, you can give tips, but if somebody doesn't go through this on their own way, they will never feel really fulfilled. Okay? Fourth one is ask for what you want. Now, why do I think this is so important? I had also the other day a coaching call with somebody, and I actually asked that question just like this. I said, like, why are you not asking what you want, right? And it came down, obviously, that she was also a people pleaser, but she had a sense of fear. She was scared. Where I responded towards her saying that if you don't ask what you want, there is a chance that you are manipulating. Yes. And the reason why is because if you're not asking straight up, honestly, from what you want, you will go around it in a manipulative way to get it. So you're not honest for the people maybe who you even love. Okay? Awesome. I can't see how many people are actually in this Facebook right now. But if there is any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now, the fifth one, what I want to give you is be courageously you. Ditch the act. Stop acting upon. Probably many among us know what happened with Jim Carrey, right? He went into a depression, and he said something very beautiful, is that he has been an actor his whole life. But not only in his work mode, also in his day-to-day living. And he went into a depression because he needed to let go of that character, what he was holding on for such a long time. And you could say this is kind of a people pleaser too, because you're acting upon somebody who is always happy, always has a big smile, and always helping to help everybody. Right? And he understood that if I let go, I need time for myself, I will go back into this depressive state. And depression is not something bad always, okay? It can be, again, the suffering part where we need to go through to eventually feel fulfilled. So be courageously you. What are your needs? What are your wants? What do you truly desire in your heart? Hey, Louise, thank you for joining. What do you really, really want inside your heart? And ask yourself that question. Good to see you having a good day. You too, Etsy. And this is not easy. And I've seen it. I've seen it in my own journey, and I've seen it with the people in my tribe, in my diabetes mastery community, in the people where I'm coaching with. To be courageously you and ditch the act takes also time. Reason of being is because you've created this habit. You almost forget when you look in the mirror who is truly you. Maybe ask yourself that question today. Who are you truly deep inside? Okay? Now, if you need any help with this, obviously I'm going to give you one more tip. But what I do want to mention is that there often, and I said it also at the beginning, there are underlying root causes. Often there is traumas what happened in your life. Now, I do various exercises, inner child work, shadow work, but a very powerful exercise is emotional literacy, understanding your emotions. And that's where you can find out where this trauma is caused. And you can start grabbing it by the root and pulling it out. Okay, because that's how you need to solve problems. You don't want to just go on the surface. You want to really take it out there. So if you need any help with it, just type interested or send me a PM afterwards. Now, the sixth and final tip what I want to give you today is develop a new ethic. Now, what I mean by this is that eventually after all of these tips, and I know this for certain because I have had a lot of people pleasers in my practices, in my programs. You will create your own ethic. You know what your core beliefs are, what your wants are, and you become the hero of your own journey. And this is really epic because first off, people will probably think you're maybe a weirdo, or maybe don't even want to hang out with you. Maybe they don't want to be your friends anymore because you are a different person than you've always been. You maybe start to put boundaries down. And boundaries are not only saying no. It's not that. It is saying no and taking an action, a clear action upon that. Okay, so also remember that boundaries is not just only no, you need to put action after that. Now, and by doing this, obviously your tribe maybe starts to change, but you need to develop a new ethic and become your own hero eventually. Okay, so final line, what I would like to say about this quote is that if you want to do something, guys, take action. And be an integrated person. Integrity. If you say something, do it. Because talk is cheap. Okay? Now, I have a free guide about people pleasing where these tips are standing in. So if you have interest in this, put it down below in the comments. Just tell me interested or send me a PM and you will get it for free. Okay? Last thing what I want to mention, if there's any questions, please let me know right now. I'm still on here. I'm going to go soon. Last thing what I want to mention is that I have 3 spots left for my Diabetes Mastery Intensive. Now, what we're doing over here is that as diabetics, we're facing obviously a lot of different struggles. I posted also before, there's 180 more decisions we need to make from day to day. So there is a lot of stress. I'm helping you with your mental and physical struggles. And why are these so important? Because, you know, we all don't want these complications eventually. So what we're going to do over here, first we're figuring out what is really needed. There is a chance maybe you only want to lose belly fat. You know, and I'm having a program for that. But more so often what I see is that there is this mental struggle, what is going on, and that's why you are maybe not disciplined to hit the gym, or you're not disciplined enough to leave that cookie behind. So it's very like I like always to really dive deep into, you know, our mental struggles and then eventually the physical struggles to live complication free. Okay, so if you have interest in a free strategy session, also type down interested. Now, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me, guys. Mary, Louise, Etsy, and yeah, well said. Oh, I see you have some more comments, by the way. Well said. Thanks a lot. And yeah, I'm really happy also that you guys, I know most of these people in the comments are also in the Diabetes Mastery group. If you want to join that, just click that link somewhere on my Facebook page or ask me, send me some PMs. Because together we're strong, guys. Together we can learn from each other. And even if everybody has their own journey, we can always learn. But we need to share our stories. And this can be struggles, but it's important to not only be in the victim mentality. Okay, we need to use diabetes as maybe a strength, and it is possible. Trust me in that. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.